What a beautiful place. What a beautiful day. And we're very excited about what today means and the journey that you guys continue in some ways today, but really embark upon as one together. You didn't come here today because you fell in love. You came here today because you vow to love. It isn't just that you fell in love. We can fall in and out of that. But you've decided today that you picked each other to learn love with.
Jaclyn, you're the one I needed when I wasn't looking for anyone. You're the one God had planned when I wanted to focus on myself. I couldn't be more blessed that the Lord's plan surpassed my own. I knew you were the one I would marry shortly after we started dating. I had had an incredibly discouraging day. I came over and you encouraged me with truth from God's Word. And I can't accurately describe the sense of peace I was able to receive because of the truth that you spoke over me. I knew from that day that I wanted you to be my wife and I wanted to be your husband.
Joshua, marriage is something that I've dreamt of my entire life. For most of my life, I struggled to view myself the way God does, as enough for someone. Your response to my silly perspective came without hesitation when you said, "I'm not looking for you to fulfill me because you'd be a letdown." In most cases, that would offend people. But God knew it was exactly what I needed from a man. In that moment, I felt the fear and worry completely leave me, and an overwhelming peace filled my heart.
Jaclyn, I promise to be watchful. I promise to set God first in my life that I may love you as best as possible. I love you today and promise to continue dating you and pursuing your heart for as long as we live. You are the right thing.
But you want to remember whose you are. Believe that God is for both of you. We can go all out in being for one another when we live from the reality of the identity that Jesus has secured for us. His love is everlasting.
On this day, I vow to never take your love for granted because you chose me.
I promise to be a man in accordance to God's Word and to also be a strong place for us when life is hard and weary.
Love is a choice, and I choose you always.
I'm sorry, I can't stop smiling. I'm so thrilled. Oh, this is an answer to, years and years of prayer. Josh and Jaclyn, today you've made a lifelong commitment to each other. You have unashamedly shared your vows. You have given beautiful rings as a public demonstration of your love for each other. Believing that it is your desire to have a happy home built on the lordship of Jesus Christ. It is my joy as your dad and as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ to pronounce that from this moment on, You are now husband and wife. What the Lord has made inseparable, let no one separate. May the Lord bless you always, in always. Josh, you may kiss your bride, your wife. It is my privilege to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Joshua Reimer.
In the fall of 2017, Florida was struck with a natural disaster. For Josh, it was his opportunity of a lifetime.
So that morning after the storm, Jaclyn and I actually sent out social media posts asking for help, like little SOS messages. And as I like to say, Irma brought the boys to the yard. And as Josh pulled into the driveway, Jaclyn and I were hauling a pile of debris to the street on the John Deere tractor. And Jaclyn was like all cute and workout clothes and like tan and ripped. And I was like, she's totally in her element and these boys don't stand a chance. But Josh wasn't the only guy that showed up, and one of the other guys started competing for her attention. And at the end of the cleanup, neither of these two guys would leave. So I was like, I'm just going to take matters into my own hands for a minute. I went and got the guitar for Josh one of those nights, and I was like, well, if I could just get him to play and sing, she'll be hooked. The other guy would probably fall in love with him too. Hashtag Team Josh, yes.
I thought this nice young man you all know as Joshua, I thought he was coming because he heard what a swell, nice guy I was to help me because he knew I needed a lot of help with the 20-something trees that are down. Obviously, I was wrong. He wasn't there for that, but I liked him so much when I first met him. I wanted him to come back so bad. I went out after midnight and chopped down some more trees. So Jaclyn would have him come back for help the next morning.
Dad, thank you for the shining example of a man that you've been to our family. Jaclyn knew she could never settle for a guy who was anything less, and she hasn't. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Reimer, who have raised an amazing man who is incredibly caring and loves Jesus and is all we could hope for Jaclyn. She's lucky to have him, and she's lucky to be part of your family that's welcomed her so sweetly. Actually, luck has nothing to do with it, really. This is the result of a loving God. He loves to give good gifts to his children,